Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this particular problem statement we are going to learn about the section of hexagonal prism. Okay, the side is given 100 mm, side means the side of the hexagon is given 100 mm, and the height or the axis height is given 200 mm. Okay, it is cut by a section plane perpendicular to BP and inclined at 45 degrees to HP, which bisect the axis. Draw the sectional top view and true shape of the section. Okay, so we will repeat the same steps. Okay, so I'm going to draw first XY reference line. Press escape, control Z. Okay, so clicking on snap. So let us say this is my XY reference line. Okay, so I can give the naming text, select any point on the screen, point 2, rotation angle is 0, X and Y. So this is my VP. In VP I draw front view. This is my HP. In HP I always draw top view. Is escape. Okay, now I'm going to draw one hexagon. Okay, here and number of sides in the hexagon is 6. Okay, selecting any point, select edge. Okay, and now I'm selecting or here I'm drawing. Let us say, so 100 mm side is there, so this is basically one. So this is basically one AutoCAD unit, that is 100 mm. Okay, so for dimensions you can give the dimensions line. Okay, and now you can convert that this is prism, so you can convert this particular center of this particular prism, okay, by joining the corners of hexagon. Here I got the center of the prism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first convert this particular into cyan color. I'm going to join or by converting to thick color. Okay, and these projector lines I'm going to convert it into or cyan color. Now I'm going to give the namings. Okay, so this converted into white color. Okay, so this is the true shape of the base. Okay, the text, selecting any point on the screen. Okay, the rotation height will 0.1 and rotation angle is 0. Okay, so I'm going to give the naming here. Okay, so there are two bases in the prism. Okay, so this is my, let us say, bottom base is ABCDE, A, okay, B, C, D, E and F, and the top base is basically my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, and you can give here as O is O and slash P. Okay, so this is basically my true shape of the base. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the perpendicular projector lines from here, selecting ortho. So from this particular point I'm going to place one perpendicular projector. From this particular point I'm going to draw another projector. From this particular point I'm going to draw another projector line. Okay, and now converting immediately, escape. Okay, control Z. Okay, so draw one another projector lines from here. Okay, press escape. So convert this particular projector line into cyan color, press escape. Okay, and now the height is given. Okay, height is 200 mm, so axis height is given 200 mm. So what I'm going to do is here enter. Okay, and from this particular point I'm going to draw the height. Okay, so let us just click on snap. So this is one AutoCAD unit, this is basically two AutoCAD unit. Okay, so here also join. Okay, and here I'm going to join it. Okay, now an axis I need to draw. So from here basically from this particular point, center point, I'm going to draw the axis as well. Okay, so I'm going to convert this axis into a line. Okay, and now I'm going to give the naming. Okay, so the text, select any point on the screen, point 1 will the text height, rotation angle is 0. Okay, so this my base is basically A dash now. Okay, so here you can check A dash and B dash, B dash. This particular point is my C dash, F dash, and this particular point is my, so this is basically perfectly aligned. No, this is not. This press escape. Okay, this is not basically, press delete. Okay, so from this particular point I'm going to draw, okay, perpendicular to this, escape. Now this is perfect. Okay, the text, select any point on the screen, point 1 0. Okay, so this is basically my D dash E dash. Okay, so this particular point is my D dash E dash. Okay, similarly the top base will be 1 dash, 2 dash, this is basically 3 dash C dash, 3 dash, 6 dash, and this particular point is my 4 dash, 5 dash. Okay, this escape. Okay, now I have marked all the process. So there are two bases in the prism. So this one is ABCD is one base, and 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash is another base. Okay, so true shape of the solid section of prism I have drawn. Now true shape of the solid I have drawn. Now I need to cut it by section plane perpendicular to EP, inclined at 45 degrees to HP. So what I'm going to do is basically, so I'm going to first mark the dimensions. Okay, this is very important. So for understanding, this is very important. So from this particular point and this particular point is basically 2 AutoCAD units, so converting into cyan color. Now I'm going to select the midpoint here. Okay, click on snap. So from this particular point, okay, and click on snap. Okay, so from this center I'm going to select 2 AutoCAD unit. Okay, so this is basically the midpoint. Okay, and now from this particular midpoint I'm going to draw one section plane. Snap. Okay, this will pass from here, press escape, select this particular line, click on rotate command. Okay, select the point. Okay, and click on snap, select the point where along which you have to rotate, and the angle is -45. Now you can check. Okay, so this is basically cut here. Okay, so where it is basically cut, you can mark the point. So this is basically one cut, and this is basically another cut. Okay, so now this is basically the section plane. Okay, so let it be as it is. Okay, here in the previous problem I have converted into hidden color, but let it be. Now I'm going to give the name in text. Select any point on the screen, point 1 will be rotation angle, and 0. Okay, so there are two edges, so it is basically going to convert into m dash, n dash. Okay, but here also two edges are there, so m dash, n dash, o dash, p dash, and here it is basically cut. So this particular point is my basically q dash, r dash. Okay, press escape. Okay, so this is basically my section plane. Okay, so now this particular point or this particular line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here. Okay, so for your reference I'm going to draw another line, so that for the thickening purposes, here and then here and this particular point and this particular point, press escape. Okay, I'm going to convert this into thick color. So because this is the cutted section. Okay, so this is not basically cut, so I'm going to thick. Okay, now you can check. So this is basically the sectional cut plane. Okay, and the useful portion of this particular thing. Okay, so now I'm going to mark the point here. Okay, so let us check. So M point is basically lies here, so I need to mark the cutted sections. Okay, so dtext I'm going to write down here, dtext, selecting any point on the screen, point 1 will be rotation height and 0 is the rotation angle. Okay, so now check. So on 1 dash a dash, basically a1, there is point m, so here it will be m, so this particular point is my m. Okay, or I can write down nearby, this particular point is my m. Okay, then there is 2 dash b dash b2, this there is point n, so this is my point n. Here I can write down n. I hope it is visible. Okay, similarly there is point on 3 dash c dash. Okay, so there is point o, c3, this is point o, so this particular point is o. Then there is a 6 dash f dash, there is point p, so this particular point is my p, right? And then d dash 4 dash, there is point mn o p q, so this particular point is my q, and this particular point is my r, right? So e dash 5 dash, there is particular point r. Okay, press escape. So you can check, I have marked all the cut sections, and this is basically the prism only. So if you cut on the top side, right, I have inclined 45 degrees, so you will get the prism. Okay, so now I'm going to convert this particular prism into hatch color. So I'm going to write h, right, and I'm going to select the object. So from here I'm going to select the object, okay, and then press OK. So it is basically, you know, this is basically the sectional top view. So I can immediately write down the text, select any point on the screen. Okay, 0.2 will be the height, 0 will be the rotation angle. So this is nothing but this sectional top view. Okay, press escape. Okay, now what I need to do is basically I need to draw one x1 y1 reference line, okay, parallel to this section plane, so that I can draw the true shape of the section. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically shade enter, okay, and I'm going to select this line, Control C, Control V, okay, and I'm going to place it here. Okay, press escape. So you can check. So now from each point I need to draw the projectors. Okay, so I'm going to select from this particular point I'm going to unclick on ortho. So from here I need to draw the projector. So you can check, this is perpendicular, and now from this particular point, okay, so here you can, so this is perpendicular, so here I am going to draw one, not drawn, okay, no issues, I'm going to draw it. Okay, so from this particular point I'm going to draw the perpendicular projector. So this is perpendicular, so from this particular point this is my first projector. Similarly from o dash p dash I'm going to draw another projector perpendicular to x1 y reference line. So from this particular point, okay, I'm going to draw another projector, press x1. Similarly from this particular point I'm going to draw the perpendicular to this, okay, the perpendicular I'm going to extend it, press x5. So I'm going to convert this into cyan color, press escape. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I need to give the naming. Okay, so first of all I need to measure the dimensions of M, N, O, Q, R from here. So I'm going to select the dimensions from here, align. Okay, so from this XY reference line the dimensions of M is basically how much, 1.75, press escape. Similarly go to select dimension, select align from this particular point XY reference line, and the distance of N is basically 2.75, press escape. Similarly dimensions align from this particular point to this particular point, this distance is 1.25. Similarly go to dimension, select align from this XY reference line to this C3 distance is basically 3.25. Similarly from this dimension select align, so from this particular point the distance of R is basically 1.74. so this is basically wrong, Control Z. Okay, so I'm going to select the dimensions here, align. So from this particular point to this particular point it will be 1.7438. so this is basically similar, 1.7430 or 1.75. okay, so there should be some kind of problem, Control Z. So I'm going to select the dimensions here. Okay, select align. So this is my 1 point. Okay, or let us say from this particular point this particular distance, okay, is basically my 1.743. okay, let it be. Okay, similarly dimensions align, okay, this particular point or the distance of this is basically 2.75 should be there, okay, but it is 2.74, right? So what I am going to do is I am going to convert. So this distance should be same, okay, so this distance should be same. So what you can do is you can basically delete these dimensions, okay, and you can convert this particular distance into cyan color. Okay, now I need to mark the points here. So from ny reference line, okay, so from this particular point I need to mark the m point, which is 1.75, okay. So I'm going to select the circle. From this particular point I'm going to select draw one circle of radius 1.75, press escape. So I got 1 point here and then press escape. So I'm going to delete this, okay. So I got 1 point. Similarly n distance is basically from reference line is 2.75, okay. So basically what I'm going to do is press Z, enter, enter, okay, and I'm going to move this, okay, here. I'm going to move it here so that the problem statement should be visible, okay. Press Z, enter, enter, okay. Press escape, okay. So now I got the space here. Press Z, enter, enter, okay, and I'm going to extend the line, this particular line I'm going to extend it, okay. Z, enter, enter. So I can basically zoom it, okay. So from this particular point I can basically extend the line. Press escape, okay. Similarly from this particular point I can extend the line. Press escape. Similarly from this particular point I can extend the line. Press escape, okay. Now m point I have marked, n point distance is 2.75. I'm going to select the circle from here and draw 2.75 as a radius, okay. Press escape. So I got here another point. Press escape, delete it. Now from O dash P dash, the distance of O dash is basically, where is O, M, N, O. So here it will be O, right? So this is basically mode here. Press here. Press escape, okay. So O point is here, okay. So it is basically 3.25. So how I'm going to do is I'm going to select the circle from this particular point. I'm going to draw 3.25. Press escape. So I got another point here. Press escape, select and delete this particular circle, and P point is 1.25, right? So I'm going to draw 1.25 radius, okay. Press escape, selecting this particular point, okay, and I'm going to delete it. So I got another point here. Now I need to mark Q dash R dash. So Q dash distance is basically similar, okay, to this particular point, that is 2.75. okay. So I'm going to select the circle here. So from this particular point I'm going to draw 2.75. Press escape, okay, selecting the point here, okay, deleting this particular circle, okay, and Q dash point is basically 2.75 is that, and R point is basically how much, 1.25. So I'm going to select the last circle. This is as a center, 1.25, okay. So press escape. So this is basically delete, okay. So this particular distance is now 1.75, not 1.25. So from here I'm going to select 1.75. Press escape. Okay, so I got another point here. Delete. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I got all the points. I'm going to join it by a line. So this particular point, 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 and this particular point. Okay, and now I'm going to convert press hatch. Okay, select the objects. Okay, so I'm going to select the object here. Press enter and then click on OK. So this is somewhat the line, so Control Z. What I'm going to do is click H hash. Okay, select the objects. Okay, so I'm selecting this particular point, a line, this line, this line, this line, and this line. Select enter. Okay, the angle is basically let us say 45 degree. Okay, and then press escape. Okay, so I have not selected this. Control J. Okay, so click on H command again. Okay, select the object. Okay, so this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, and this line. Press enter. The angle is 45 degree. Okay, and then please OK. So now you got. Okay, and immediately converting this outer boundaries into thick color. Press escape. So now I can give the naming. Okay, the text, select any point on the screen, point 2, rotation angle is 0. So this is basically my point m dash, okay, or m1. Okay, this particular point is my nearest to center P. You can check P1. This particular point is my N P, and this particular point is my R1. Okay, this particular point is my N1, O1. I think this is O1. Okay, O1, and this particular point is my M and O P, and this particular point is my Q1. Okay, and this is nothing but the true shape of the section. Okay, this is also my x1 y1 reference line, x1 and y1 reference line. Okay, press escape and you can check all the dimensions whether I have given or not. Z enter, enter. Okay, so this is basically the solution for the section of hexagonal prism. Okay, so if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe.